Hello there, everyone. This is Soul Super 17 here, and let me get for this like usual. I do not own this picture, and this is a non-paid video. Okay. I know it's been a month since I made what if this. Reasons why is because a lot of other what ifs people wanted, to see, and kind of just didn't know where to go with it. I still kind of like trying to figure out where I wanted to go with the story, slash, and kind of forgot about it because of, stuff happening and too many what ifs. Well, I remembered it now, and basically, I hope you guys do like what's gonna happen. Okay? Alright. So, also, some people, someone didn't give me a name for the cards. I think it was called Death 34 Demise. Just in case, I'm gonna double check that, so please hold on. Yep, it was Death 34 Demise. Alright, that's the name of the cards. So I'm just gonna say Death 34. Alright. But the full name is Death 34 Demise, so yeah. Alright, let's just get into this. Okay, alright. So, after Asta wakes up in the morning. Oh yeah, almost forgot. This is what if Asta was the son of Sparta. Was a son of Sparta. Part 7. Okay, alright. So yeah. Okay, so yeah. So after he woke up in the morning, he basically gets dressed, goes to breakfast, and he sees Lutz and basically Finral. He goes, "Sup, guys?" Finral just says, "Hey, Asta," and he goes, "Your little try to get a date didn't go so well." He goes, "Yeah, she didn't want to be with me." I mean, we talked for a while, and then she just left. And Lutz said, they talked for quite a bit, and I asked her more about what she can do with her magic and all that, and it's actually quite interesting. I'm gonna talk to her more about it, and I even asked her like, has she thought about combat purposes? So she kind of didn't like it at first, but then I kind of went a little bit overboard on explaining about how some things can be used in combat very differently for like support or something. So she kind of got interested. And yeah. So we're gonna be talking later today, which Finral is in shock and also going like, "Wow, nice job." And this is when Magna says, "What nice job?" He goes, "Hey, you got a date with a girl." Magna jaw just drops, and he then screams. Then he takes off his glasses and then screams, "What?" And basically that like echoed for the whole entire Blackpool hideout, which everyone heard. And basically, Lutz says it's not a date; it's just talking, about with what she can do with her magic. It's basically she can use her magic to cut with hair, use her hair to cut stuff or something. I forget, but it's very interesting. Just note, I also did forgot too. So, I remember is she can use it to cut hair or use her hair to cut other people's hair or something. I don't know. But yeah. So I'm just trying to give Luft a friend besides the Black Bulls. So, yay. Because I do like Luft, he's a good character, and I thought, hey, he deserves another friend. So Asta says, "But still, good job." So it's just, you two hanging out. And he goes, "Yeah? Just you and her?" "Yeah." "So a date, a day and time that you meet up." He goes, "Oh, that's what you meant." He goes, "Yeah. You're not, the way you worked up there." He, like, points to the head. Says, you're not very, suitable to talk to people other than fighting. He goes, yeah, true. I'm gonna have to work on that skill. Look, then, like, rubs the back of his head. He goes, yeah. And then Asta looks at, he sees, like, Yami coming down. Coming from the hallway. He goes, so what was that yelling before? What was with that yelling? Then Asta says, oh, look, that's a date. Which shocks Yami. He does exactly what Magma did. And Asta says, it's not really a date, it's a date and time where they meet up. He goes like, oh, okay. Oh, for a minute there, I thought our fighter enthusiasm guy was going soft. That would have freaked me out. He goes, really? He goes, yeah, this guy gets a date? Who knows what will happen? We don't need another kid like him. He goes, wow. That would be actually quite terrifying. As Luck goes, hey, that just means someone will be a lot stronger than me to fight. And he goes, and like Asta just smacks his head, like, this is why your fight enthusiasm is annoying sometimes. He goes, okay. Well, see you guys. As Luck leaves, and Asta says, hey Yami, you still got that mission out in the, out in the, like, snow area? He says, like, up north or something. I did not read the detail. All I just know is there was, like, some monsters around in a certain area. He goes, yeah. And then he basically gives him the paper with the information on it. And then he goes, wow, I was just there yesterday. He was like, really? He goes, yeah. I met a girl named Rebecca during this swing day or something. It was I wasn't really paying attention to Fenroll. He was just asking me to come with him to meet up with a girl because he needed like 3 guys. There was like 3 girls. And this is where Noelle comes in and she heard that. And she goes, what? You gotta talk to another girl? He goes like, yeah. Plus I'm taking a mission to kill these monsters up there, so I may stop by the village that's nearby. And Yami goes like, alright then. Just don't overdo it, kid. He goes like, everything I can kill these wherever they are easily. As then he opens up his coat and puts on the glasses. Says, "See you guys." And he left. And he leaves. Then basically, Yami is saying, that kid really does not ever show any enthusiasm in anything. It's like everything's just a bore for him. Well, he's really powerful, so that's easy to explain. As in Noelle, while no one was noticing, Noelle's following Asta. As basically then he pulls out Repent, he slashes down, cross, makes a portal, and then he goes to the village where Rebecca is, which Noelle follows. The portal was still, like, she was, like, rushing out, so she was, like, ran just to try to get to Asta's attention. Like, she wanted to come with, but he wasn't really paying attention. He was just thinking about the mission. He was, like, reading more about it. It was, like, the creatures, he didn't realize the place had, like, snow there, so, but it would make sense since it is almost winter. It's like somewhat like fall. So yeah. So it would make more sense. And there was like snow on the ground yesterday too. I'm making like more sense because of like the brother that can use snow magic. So yeah. And so basically Asta did that, and he read about what the demon description that can use ice, and well, I'm just saying it's a demon because, well, you guys gotta know it's like gonna be a demon anyways. So yeah, so he read the description of what the demon can do, like what the people of the Magic Knights have tried to kill it, but their attacks couldn't do anything, and he says figures. This is why Julius gave me this mission. And then, that's when he opened up the portal, and then he'll walk through. As he's in front of the fountain, he sees a sister and a girl. He then sees Rebecca and these kids, just talking, along with the girl that's basically pink dress, blonde hair, playing with, well, I'm just saying Rebecca's kids, because, Rebecca's siblings. Because I can tell, because they kind of have, like, some similar facial features. So, yeah. So he walks over. Noelle does come out of the portal, and kind of then, like, goes right behind the fountain, just hiding. And she's wondering, who's this Rebecca girl that he was talking to? As then he goes, "Yo, Rebecca, I was yesterday for you." As Rebecca goes like, "Oh, Asta, you're here already?" He goes, "Yeah, I got a mission that I'm gonna be done real quick." But so I figured afterwards I can come by and help out, hang out, just basically help you out if you ever need anything. As the kids, go over and ask him, "Who is he? How did he get here so quickly?" And he goes like, "My name's Asta. And how I got here so quickly? That's my little secret, kids. Can't tell you everything." As basically like, "Aw," it was fine. I used magic. It's not from my grimoire, but it's a magic that only I have. It's called it's a little bit of angel and something else." As basically the sister and Rebecca were like looking at him, goes like, "Angel?" He goes, "Well, since I'm in front of a church, I figure I should tell you, be honest and truthful and not lie. Since I am from an orphanage, I do have respect for the church. Either way, what I am." Because the sister does ask, it's the same sister. The sister asks, goes, "What are you?" He says, "Well," as he asks her to come leaning forward because he doesn't want to stay in front of the kids. He basically says, "Nephilim." And then she asks, "What's that?" Then he whispers back in her ear again of what it is. Basically, he says it's a cross breed between an angel and a demon. And she goes, "But I'm not from around here," which confused Rebecca. And she goes, "Wait," he says, "I can explain more later. I'll come to you first before I come back and talk to Rebecca. So, please understand that." As, the sister does, she says thank you for being honest, and he asks what's his intentions here. As basically he holds up the paper, and they go, "Oh yes, those creatures have been," and he goes, "These are demons." The description seems like they're demons, since magic didn't work on them. So, I'm the only one that can kill them. And basically, that kind of surprised, and the kid's going like, "Demons?" He goes, "Yeah, I've been attacked by a couple of these guys, but don't worry, they're not gonna be around much longer." And I say, he goes, "Demons may be living creatures too, but they hurt people for no reason. That means they endanger people's lives. It's my job to get rid of them." As he says, "But I ain't a bad person." He goes, as he looks at the kids, Becca's siblings and Grace. Give me a minute. Okay, as he looks at the kids, and then he asks the girl with the blonde hair, "Who is she?" She says her name is Maria. And then he looks at the sister, and she says, "I'm Sister Theresa." As he goes, "Alright. Well, Maria." I think I say that name right. I need to double check that. Give me a minute. Sorry about that, everyone. Not Maria. I added on it. That happens to me when I read something. It's Marie. Alright, okay. So, and he goes, "Oh, you're Gosha's sister?" And she goes, "Don't talk about him like that. I mean, don't talk about him." She says, he goes, "Yeah, he is weird." As Larissa does say, you're not wrong. And then he basically says, "Well, I'll be going now." And then he goes, "Oh yeah, forgot my ride." He goes, "Okay." So then he brings out his sword again, slashes down, slashes in midair, basically, cross. As then he goes, "Cerberus!" For the portal. He basically was thinking of his room. Cerberus was still in his room sleeping, so, he just left them. As then Nero comes, and then Cerberus jumps out, and they like all the kids, Marie, and Rebecca's siblings, just freak out, including Rebecca and Larissa. And he goes, "Alright, guys, and you guys who transform back, can you please, Cerberus, transform." As basically they transform into a bike. I'm just gonna have them say like, I'm just gonna say now, just like say Cerberus transform. Okay. All right. As then they transform back into a motorcycle, which surprised everyone, and they're like very shocked. As he goes, "Well, can you just point me the way where it needs to go?" And also he says, "Oh yeah, your church was the one who asked for this job to be done, so that's why I'm asking you, Sister Clarissa." As she goes, "Oh yes," and she points to the direction. He goes, "All right, I'll be back." As then he pushes the button for basically free roam, and it starts. Yeah, I'm just having that too. I'm changing it, if you guys know what I said for the bike. I'm changing it up because I don't want to look back through the videos of what I had to do. I'm just going to make it a lot more easier now for myself. Alright, okay. So yeah, so he drives off, which surprised a lot of people seeing this. As basically, he just going. He's saying to himself that he has to look for certain things to understand where they're gonna be. So while that is happening, Noelle doesn't know what to do. So she's thinking she's gonna look around town for a while, and this is like in the morning right away. So he'll be back around 2 o'clock. So after a couple of hours driving, he's been following some tracks and find out where some blood was for a couple of days, and because some magic knights did get hurt, not badly to the point where they could be dying, just bad enough, just have scrapes or blood being some cuts or something. So yeah, so he follows multiple areas, and then he comes up to a conclusion that he just has to wait. So he just gets off the bike and just says, "Cerberus, de-transform," as they transform back into dogs. Well, as the bike transforms back into dogs. As they're just there. As he just stands a couple inches feet away from them, about 2 feet. Yeah. Or 2 feet, whatever. I don't care. I'm not good at this, at measuring, so yeah. As then he says, "Alright, this is where the tracks end. So that means," as then he starts hearing the snow starts moving around him. He goes "Bingo!" As then he pulls out Rose out of the grimoire, put it back in the holster. As he even says, "Oh yeah," and then he puts the pages start to flow as open. As then he puts in the Death 34 card. 34 demise. And then he pulls them back out, and anti-magic is on, and then he goes, "Perfect." As he puts them back in the holder for them. And then, he has repent out, so he goes like, so, demons, let's dance. As they just come out, and the fight, the way it is, he jumps at one of them, he cuts off basically the tail. Just to see how, like, if they have any, like, regeneration or something. As the demon's, like, screaming out pain, roaring, he goes like, huh, alright. No regeneration. Good. So I don't have to worry about that. And then he just dashes forward, swiping at the air, cutting, really quickly, as then he goes right past the demon, and then shoots the sword right behind his back, as then it cuts basically multiple slashes into the demon and killing it. Then he just takes out Rose and then shoots the other demon, because there's only two, a couple of times. As it's like, flies backwards, and he says, Cerberus, attack! As then, basically Cerberus just runs, well, all three of the dogs just run over and attack the, I do not know what the snow demon is, I'm just gonna call it the snow demon, basically. As then it starts, like, biting and burning it, as then he says, back away! As they, do. He jumps up in the air, takes out 3 cars, and just says, read him and weep, and just throws it down at the demon, basically hitting him multiple 3 areas, ended it, just ending the fight. Which then they return back to the holder. It was like, piece of cake. So, he's thinking he's gonna need some proof. So, he just cut off the demon's head. He says, asks Cerberus to transform. As it does, the dogs transform back, and he gets on it, and then drives right back. He goes over, he gets back to the church. He asks for the priest to come out because he doesn't want to stain any carpet flooring. So the priest comes out, and then he says, well, I just wanted to give you proof. So here you go. As he shows them the demon heads, as he goes, thank you. It was no problem. They were too easy. As Sister Thea with Marie, do come out after, he had a bag, so he, opened it up. The priest came out, and as soon as, basically, she heard, Asta came back, she wanted to go and see, but, she had to wait till they were done talking, so he just hands the priest the bag and tell him, if you guys need to write a letter to the Wizard King or something, I don't know how this goes. As he goes, well, we already informed the process of doing it, so we'll let the Wizard King know. As he goes, oh, thanks. He goes, no, thank you. This has been a problem for a couple of days now. And he goes, really? Well, they've been around for at least a couple of weeks. By that, I mean about almost a month. Only Magic Knights finally started to come here to try to deal with it because we kept on complaining. The world's magic couldn't do nothing, but you did it. It goes, yeah, these things aren't human or creatures of this world. They're called demons. And he goes, but they come from another dimension, a reality that you don't know of. And trust me, I don't know it either. But all I know is, these things are trying to kill me. Well, not these things exactly. Seems like they're different. From a different time period than what I'm used to the demons of. As he goes, really? He goes, yeah. Just no. Ask for Asta. No, just ask for Asta. Thinking about opening up my own business. And then, he tells Cerberus to transform back. De-transform as Cerberus turns back to the dogs. As that's shocking to the priest. And he goes and he asks, what's the business? He goes, demon hunting. If this becomes a career. As then, he's walking away. as Marie and Sister Thea, fall in. So the priest does, write a letter of the demons have been, the creatures have been taken care of by Asta. So, yeah. And then he goes over to the fountain. And, Asta's going over to the fountain and sits as Sister Clarissa, asks for, okay, so explain more as he says, alright, I'm from, he just looks at Marie and says, Marie, grown-ups were talking, do you mind, as then he sees Rebecca, and yes, he just sees Rebecca walking with her brothers and, her siblings, as he says, can you go play with, them real quick? As she nods, and, runs over to them, as Marie explains what's happening to Rebecca, as, she says it right. So, Asa kind of just tells her the truth. He goes, I don't know why I'm telling you this. I just feel like you're a trustworthy person. So please don't go around telling people. Sister Clarissa nods. Goes, well, as I told you, a demon and an angel have a child, and that is a Nephilim. And there's a thing called demonic energy, an angel energy. So I have both. I can use both of them to my advantage. I can do things most people can't, or most humans can't. And along with my brothers. And she looks in shock. He goes, I have a brother named Dante, and another brother named Virgil. I don't know anything about them really. Well, that was for a long time. Actually, I didn't even know I even had a brother at all. I just found out a couple months back. And then I met my brother yesterday. Dante. That guy. It looks like he had a rough time. Plus, I don't know if I could be around his world. Just knowing it. A dimensional portal that can bring me from another reality into another one. Kind of shocking, isn't it? As Clarissa nods her head, as she goes, so, these demons are hunting you for what reason? The Demon King, the ruler of them all, Mundus, or Mundus, whichever we want to pronounce it. I call him Mundus. So yeah. And she goes, why does he? He goes, because only a Nephilim can kill him. My brother said he can. My brother said he took him down along with my other brother, Virgil. But the reason why they say they want me dead is because of him. So I have a feeling the slime ball is still alive. And when I find him, I'm gonna make sure he regrets for ruining my life. Or should I say, make my life a little more exciting. As she basically looking at him and asks him, are you, and then also says, upset that I'm the only one of my kind here and I got no one else around me to understand how I feel because I have all this power, all these abilities, and yet I don't have anyone to teach me. I have to learn everything from scratch. Yeah, I am kind of upset, but hey, that's what life gives me, right? As she nods her head, and he goes, alright, let's go. I gotta hang out with Becca and her siblings, and Marie can, join. So, yeah. As that happens, same thing happens with Ghosh and everything else. Yeah, I think it's Ghosh. I don't care about anything else, but yeah. And while that was happening, Noelle heard everything. So she's in shock. About it. She doesn't know what to think. Because that's the way she was shocked about the whole entire half demon, half angel from another reality altogether, and that he has brothers, but he's the only one of his kind here. And yeah, so she doesn't know how to feel about that. She doesn't know if she should try to talk to him about it and apologize for her overhearing it. It's just, she doesn't know. And she kind of feels upset that she heard it without him wanting to tell her. So she's upset with herself over it. So yeah. As, after the whole entire incident with Ghost trying to kill him, and the kids find out, basically they were taken, and all of that happens exactly the same way as in canon. But when they get to the fight with the two brothers, the one with snow magic and the one with mud magic, he says he will take on. Basically, he says he'll take on one of them, and I'll take on the runt. As he looks at Asta with that magic, dog with that magic eye thing, spectacle. As he sees a different type of energy coming off of him, it's different. It's red and blue, and it's just flowing like it's nothing. As he goes, what is that? He goes, huh. So, you can see a lot more of that than just magic, huh? Oh, you really are a piece of work. That big guy. As then Asa takes out Rose, as then he shoots 3 bullets, missing the guy on purpose. Like, one goes on one side of his head, another one goes above his head, and another one goes on the other side of his head. So, right, above, left. As he goes, you really shouldn't have saw that. As the guy says, I'm sorry. As then the guy that makes snow, makes a whole bunch of snow army. As then, he's basically taking care of everything by himself. As Sister Theresa is seeing this, as she is amazed by the speed and the power he's showing. And then Asa just says, like he's in midair, and he's just saying, wow, he's gonna go down real quick. I don't really have to show anything much. My power, basically. And then, he just lands right in the middle of about I'd say 300. And he goes, alright. Judgment. And all of a sudden, everyone sees a spear growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And then all of a sudden, Asta disappears. Multiple slashes are in the air and around. And then, next he's right in the middle of everything. The slashes, I mean. And then he says, disappear. And boom, all the snow, almost half the snowmen disappear. As the brothers freaking out, the one that makes the snow magic, is freaking out. As then they have the mud magic, calls for help. As then Asa puts away Repent, gets out the Demon Dweller sword and the Demon Slayer sword, just starts dual wielding them easily. He even just freaking uses some demonic energy that he has and makes a slash. Just using the drive, basically make multiple slashes like he does with Repent easily. Which shocks everyone that's in the room. While he takes care of everyone else, he then says to the guy saying, give up. You lost. You should know that. And don't worry, I don't kill people. I only kill demons. He goes, wait, what? He goes, yeah. As, the Midnight Sun, crazy girl scientist, comes in, and her name, actually I'm going to have to look up her name real quick. Sally comes in, and she asks, what's the matter? And, she looks, he, basically points to Asta, and she goes, oh, no. I'm not facing him. You're on your own, buddy. He goes, what? But after we helped you out stealing those kids' magic? And Asta says, oh. Well, there's a special place for you, then, big guy. He goes, they didn't have me do it. I didn't want to. As then Asta says, yeah, right. Probably gave you a good sum of money. As then Sally injects him, and she goes, well, I'm gonna be going now. Bye. As he goes, and then Asta just suddenly says, hey, not your brother's not human no more. Sorry, but he's gonna have to die. As then he just throws the Demon Slayer sword, and it hits his brother, basically getting rid of him instantly. Which surprised Sally. As then Asta reappears right next to the sword, and then goes right next to her anyways, and then he's like holding up to her neck, and he says, where do you think you're going? And she goes, nowhere. As then she uses her slime magic, and same things happened in canon. Ghost comes back, helps out. So yeah. And she gets saved by Luck or Patri. I'm gonna go with Luck for right now. Then Ghost, asks Asta what we're gonna do about taking on these three guys. As Asta just says, well, not three, these two. As Asta just cracks his neck, says, don't worry, this is gonna be easy for me. Take a break, or get out of here. Your choice. Has basically volley. Minute, sorry. Voltos, sorry. How do I remember names? Okay? Yeah. So it's, Voltos says to Master Lit, he's the one that caused us problems before. As he says, I remember you. As then Asta goes, oh yeah, you're the guy that I beat up. Well, I nearly, ended. And as he says with like a little grin. And he says, what? He goes, yes, that boy did give me quite a problem. But I underestimated you. He goes, yeah, sure. And then also just cracking bone, like arms, loosening up. He says, so we're gonna fight or we're gonna chat? And he goes, and then it says Voltos. He goes, yes, Master Lit. We need to work together on this. And he goes, it's an honor. And he goes, alright then, let's do it. As they recharge, Voltos opens a portal as Luck goes right through it along with Voltos. He keeps on making multiple portals, and Luck's just flying through them, and as he's making spears of light, and Asta is just he's just following him. Because then he's dodging the spears of light, cutting them with the Demon Slayer sword and the Demon Dweller sword. And he goes, I need to get rid of these swords real quick. Wait a minute, maybe I can. And all of a sudden, he gets the gauntlets. He goes, good. And then he just starts punching the spears of light so fast that it's impossible for anyone to freaking see. Because they're increasing the speed of how fast they're going. Lot is going faster and faster, summoning spears of light. And now it's just punching. If you see anything from JoJo, the anime, just saying from Star Platinum, yeah, that's how fast he's going. That's how what people are seeing, multiple physics. And then he just goes, come on, you haven't faster than that. And then he just disappears. He then switches out to repent, and then he just charging the sword. And then he just starts making multiple slashes in the air, sending them towards the Voltos area, above him. And then he does cut through the rock as this goes down on him. Voltos then sees it coming, so he makes the portal above him, puts it in our area. And Asta just disappears and reappears, and he goes, well then take this. He he throws playing cards right towards Locked. Wait, 2 cards going towards Locked, 1 card goes towards Valtos. As so Luck dodges it, and then Valtos opens up portal to go right behind Asta, as then he dodges and catches it, and then throws that towards Luck, which then he did not see because it was an instant. So an instance of him dodging and throwing it. So basically, it nicks him as that shocks him. That this is not enough to get rid of the seal. So yeah, I'm not having that early. As then, basically, if all 3 of them reappear right back in his, his playing card holder, or his holder for them, and he goes like, huh, "Is this really all you guys got? This is too easy." Which Ghosh is in shock. The Rissa was already gone, but Ghosh is just saying, "Is this really happening?" That was the leader of Midnight Sun. He's fighting him easily by himself. What is he? And Asa just says, I really don't want to end this so quickly, but I'm gonna have to. As he gets in his stance, and he just says, get ready for this. And all of a sudden, Gummy appears. He tells the kid not to have all the fun, as he says, let me take care of the leader while you take care of him. As Asa says, alright. And then he says, no killing. He goes, gotcha, boss. So, what happens with Yami happens. What happens with what happens with Asta and Baltos ends a little bit differently. Asta just throws a playing card and it hits Baltos in the arm. And then he also then shoots a rose, hits him in the shoulder, in his right shoulder, which kind of got left, basically unfocused and pottery / luck, unfocused to, getting beaten, and then he has to use a big thing, like what he does with the magic and destroying everything as he gets Valtos out of there to get reinforcements for Lot. So yeah, Yami and him survive. Oh yeah, Finral's also there too. So then he says, and he's gonna have to do this big attack as Yami does try to protect them again, but they can't. So him and Nasa says, we're gonna take this on. Finral has to get out of there. As Finral says, you're crazy. Ghost says he has one magic attack that could help, and Asa just tells Yami, let him. I'll take care of this. As he goes, kid, I know you're crazy strong, but as Asa looks at him, he goes, I said I can handle this, Yami. Which Yami backs off a little because he doesn't know what's with this kid, but that look in his eye is just insane. As Lit, telling him, "Are you crazy? You're gonna die if you take this on." And Asa says, I don't have time to die here, and you're just in my way. Not to become Wizard King, in my way to keep going on in life. So, as he just holds on to repent, charging, he goes, your attack versus mine. Let's see who wins. As inside the Grimoire, the anti-magic demon is thinking, this kid's crazy! What is this kid? Literally, as right when, Asa gets holding the charge in his sword, as then, Lit just says, alright then, human, die! As then, fires. He just does it right away, human, which catches no one else's attention besides Asta. So right when that beam of light goes right near him, I don't remember the name of the spell, but yeah. But Asta then just all of a sudden quick draws a sword, slashing the light attack straight through, which Everyone is in shock. Right when he hits it with her pen, it automatically cuts right through, hits Lit. Not he does. He only did it. He only focused the energy in the sword to cut through the magic, not Lit, but it does cut him a little. As then the magic is just dispelled, including the area where it has like a slash in the ground, which Yami's in shock, Goshen's in shock. Same thing with Finral. They don't know how he did it, so he falls to the ground, and Asta just says, "Who couldn't survive? What now?" Well, grin on his face, as Lit says, "What are you?" He goes, "Well, I ain't a human, so, yeah." Which, he goes, "What?" He goes, "Yep, you heard me." And then he sheaths Yama as, repent back up in the sheath, and, they wait. Yami says he has to, replenish his magic and all that, and the three people come and try to, protect Lit, as then Asta says, so many fights today. Yami, you want to take this on by yourself, or should I? As Yami says, "Kid, you took on the leader by yourself. Well, you took on the leader and someone else exactly at the same time. And were you even trying?" He goes, "Nope. I had to put in at least a 50% effort into cutting that attack from the leader. Oh, from Lit." As Lit's, in shock, and they look at Lit, and they see, like, the clothing's cut a little bit, so yeah. Which, Fonda is, like, about got mad. Same with, Despair and the copy magic guy, as Asta says, "Well, he was gonna kill me. You really think I was gonna let him do it?" And then they say, "Well, then, die, kid," as Asta disappears. They see multiple daggers, like, swirling around them, and he's just up in the air, and daggers above, like, his head. And Lit, seeing this, he goes, like, he wasn't taking me seriously. As then, all of a sudden, they just hit them down. Like, the ones above him go down really fast, as the one that was swirling around them hits them. Like, they're all, like, screaming out in pain, because this is, like, a really, really fast moving. So, but it's nicking them. He's making sure he does not aim for the spots that would be vital. He is, like, just, like, having them be near them to hit them, but only leave, like, a little cuts on them. But it still is painful. So, yeah. As then, he lands right on the ground, right in the middle of all three, and he goes, "So, who wants to dance? Who wants to play first?" As Despair tries to hit him, as he dodges and punches him in the face, sending him flying. As then Fauna tries to use her fire magic, and Asa then just grabs a playing card, like, throwing it right into the fire, making the magic disappear. And then the copy court, Dick went to Yami's magic, both copied it, and then he tries to hit Asa with his, dark slash, and then Asa just cuts right through it with her pen. He's just going at it, taking all three of them all at the same time. Fast, easy movement. No, like, effort, like, no energy wasted. As Yami's seen this, he goes, like, "This kid is unreal. He's a monster. A real one. I like it." As he has a smile on his face. And then all of a sudden, the Magic Knight captains come in. Knows well, Praying Mantis, and then Blue Rose Captain. They're seeing Asa just going at it with these three, as Lit is in shock. Go like, is this kid even human? As then he just really just punches the guy up, like the despair guy up in the air, and then all of a sudden he jumps up. Like he jumps backwards, and then multiple times slashes in the air as it hits. As all of a sudden they see like these spears up in the air, just hitting him, making multiple slashes at him, and then he just like puts when he shoots back his sword, as he moves his body like he's about to do a backflip and land on his feet, but no, he then he has his hand on the ground, pushes himself off, and then he just takes out Rose and shoots at basically the copy mage wizard, and keeping on his toes, as then Fauna tries to use her spirit magic, her fire magic basically, and then he just slashes right through that. As Lit says, "We need to retreat. You guys cannot handle this." As they're all like saying, "We're the top 3. We can take care of the kid." As Lit says, "No, we can't. Fall back now." As then Asta just says, "You wish." And then all of a sudden, there's a glow happening on him. As this is all in shock, as he goes, "You're not gonna get out of here. You're not gonna leave here." As all of a sudden his form is starting to change. Like he's starting to have this form outline changing. This is his devil trigger. I am giving him the axe, giving the image of it. Say with Nero and Devil May Cry 4, he gets that over above him. But this is it's actually on him, around him, basically his body, as his devil trigger just happening. And it's basically like that as they're seeing this, as they're all running, as the copy mage does open up portals underneath Despair and Fauna, and then he makes one for himself, as then even for Lit, as they all get in real quick before Asta even drew his sword. But as soon as Asta unsheathed his sword, they all witnessed they saw an image of, say if this was if I could show an anime of, I can't do it, but I can't really explain it give great detail, but they're just seeing something that's death, and they all just left right away. As then Asta basically just says, "Just when it was getting fun." And then he basically powers down somewhat, as he just he goes "Why do I get that sudden urge of the sudden surge of power? Whatever." I think the book's back, and all the Magic Knight captains that came, Yami, Finril, and Ghosh, are in shock. And Yami says, "Kid, I don't know what was that, but that was just awesome." As Asta is blushing, he goes "Hey, it was nothing I couldn't handle. Believe me, I take on creatures bigger than them, and a little bit more powerful, where I actually have to try." As then Nozel says, "You weren't even trying." He goes "Not really. I only took it serious when they were leaving." So yeah. As Nozel just says to himself, I'm done. I can't figure out this kid. I'm done." The Rose captain just processing what happened. Praying Mantis captain just says, "No matter how many times I think I slash at him, I don't think I can ever hit him. I'm not fighting this kid." As they look at Yami, says, "You got a real monster on your hands. You know that?" As Yami says, "I know, and I love it." He's a one-man army. He goes and then also just basically looks at him, but he goes "Yeah, I am." So they go back to the village, to Rebecca and sister Larissa and Marie. And basically, they're just like trying to check on everyone, and everyone goes back to their base of operations. So when Ghosh, Asta, also I did I forgot to mention, he did leave the dogs. Well, he did leave Cerberus at there to protect if anyone came to attack the village. So yeah, Cerberus was came back with him along with Naru and Noel, Ghosh, Yami, and Asta. But basically, Yami told them at the Black Belt hideout what Asta did in detail. He did not miss any detail of what this boy did. So, and they're all surprised. And then, basically, Magna asked him, Asta, do you ever take a fight seriously? He goes yeah, I used to. It's just, they're just not really much challenge with people. And he goes what do you mean? He goes well, I guess I should tell you all. As then he tells them about his parents, who he is, about his brothers, and what his parents were, what happened to his mother, what he knows about his father, and about the shop owner, and everything else. As everyone's in shock, and then Yami says, so you're a hybrid of a demon and an angel from another reality or dimension altogether, and you're here, and the demons from that reality tries to kill you because of someone named a guy named Mundus wants you dead because you're a Nephilim. And he goes, yep. And they come over to this side and I kill them now. And yeah, so that's pretty much what happened altogether. As he goes so you guys want me out? You guys want me to stay? Doesn't matter to me. Well, it doesn't matter if you guys want me to leave. I probably can just say, hey, I can really take on all of you at once and win. So, yeah, you don't want to fight me? As then Yami says, why would you leave? And then, Asta says, because I'm not human. And he says, so what if you're not human? I mean, look at us. We're all a bunch of freaks. In our own little ways. Just because, you're a half-breed, half-demon from another reality altogether, doesn't mean you're not human. If you care about people, you care about us. So, to me, you're human. As everyone agrees with Yami. Which Asta just kind of starts tearing up a little. And just says, thanks, guys. Really, that means a lot. And everyone's happy. But Yami does say, but that does kind of suck that you don't have anyone here to teach you anything about your powers. And he goes, yeah, but I learned on my own pretty well, right? He goes if that was you learn on your own, kid, then I don't know. I don't even want to know what would happen if somebody taught you. Because, yeah, trust me, I'm kind of terrified of that too. Is that where I'm ended, everyone? I do hope you guys enjoy this. And I'm sorry for taking so long to make this video. To everyone who wanted this video. Okay, next video is going to be a new what if idea. And somebody suggested, what if Naruto had Sans' powers? But I already am doing classic Sans. So I am doing another version of Sans. And that is going to be Echo Tail Sans. Which is Sans and Gaster combined into one. And so it's going to be Gaster Sans. Well, G Sans, or just G for short. So So, yeah. I don't really know much, but I'm going to look him up before I upload this video. So, I do hope everyone has a nice day, night, wherever you guys are. Stay safe, and enjoy yourself. Oh, and don't get sick. Alright, bye everyone.